I know somebody in here is going through it right now. You tired, you frustrated, you looking at your life like, man, when is it going to be my turn? You watching everybody else get blessed and you feel like God forgot about you. But let me help you out real quick. He ain't forgot, he just ain't finished yet. See, life ain't about where you at right now. It's about where you headed. And I promise you, if you keep waking up, if you keep pushing, if you keep believing, the best is next. Now, I know what some of y'all thinking, but I've been waiting a long time. Yeah, I hear you. But waiting ain't wasted when you're using that time to get ready. See, you can't ask for a blessing you ain't prepared to handle. You praying for a new level, but are you ready for that level? Can you handle the responsibility that comes with it? Let me tell y'all something. Where you are right now ain't where you gonna stay. I know it feels like this is it, like you stuck in this season, like nothing is changing, but that ain't true. Your current situation is not your final destination. It's just a stop along the way. See, too many folks make the mistake of thinking their struggle is permanent. You out here looking at your bank account, looking at your job, looking at your circumstances, and you thinking, this is just my life now. Nah, that ain't your life. That's just a chapter. And let me remind you of something. You are not your struggle. See, life is a journey. And on every journey, you're going to hit some rough patches. You ever been on a road trip and run into traffic, maybe hit a storm, maybe got a flat tire? Did you just park on the side of the road and say, well, guess I live here now? No, you figured it out. You waited, you fixed it, you rerouted if you had to, but you kept moving. And life works the same way. Where you at right now is just a detour, just a delay. But it ain't your destination. Some of y'all out here treating your struggle like a full-time address. You done unpacked, decorated, put up pictures on the wall, and settled in. You calling people talking about, this is just how my life is. No, it ain't. It's just where you at today. But your today ain't got nothing to do with your tomorrow. If you don't believe me, think back to 5 years ago. Some of y'all were in situations you thought you'd never get out of. You thought you'd never bounce back from that heartbreak, never recover from that loss, never get past that mistake. But guess what? You still here. And if you made it through then, what makes you think you ain't gonna make it through now? I know some of y'all feel stuck, like life ain't moving fast enough for you. And let me tell you something about being stuck. It's a mindset. You ain't really stuck. You just ain't moving. You just sitting there, looking at your situation, complaining about how hard it is, waiting on somebody to come save you. But ain't nobody coming to save you. You got to make the decision to get up and move. You may not have the whole plan. You may not see the full picture. But if you take one step, I promise you God will show you the next. But you got to be willing to go. Now, I ain't saying it's going to be easy. I ain't saying you won't get tired. But what I am saying is you can't quit just because it's hard. You ever see a butterfly fight its way out of a cocoon? It looks like a struggle, right? Like it's barely making it. But if you try to help it, if you cut it open too soon, that butterfly never develops the strength it needs to fly. See, that struggle is necessary. It builds you, strengthens you, prepares you for the next level. And if you quit in the middle of your process, you never get to see the beauty of what's coming next. So stop speaking defeat over your life. Stop telling yourself, this is just how it is. No, it's how it is right now. But it ain't how it's always gonna be. I need you to start talking like you know your future is bigger than your present. Like you know this struggle is temporary. Like you know your next chapter is gonna be the best chapter. You got to start believing again. You got to start pushing again. You got to start waking up every morning with the mindset that your best days ain't behind you, they in front of you. So y'all ever felt like you just waiting, like you've been praying, working, believing, but nothing is happening? You watching other people move forward, watching folks get blessed, but your life feels like it's on pause. I know that feeling. I know what it's like to wake up every day asking, God, when is it going to be my turn? But let me tell you something. Waiting time ain't wasted time. Waiting time is preparation time. See, a lot of people think just cause it ain't happened yet, it ain't happened at all. But God don't operate on your schedule. He ain't gonna give you something before you're ready for it. Now, I need you to hear me. You can't just sit there waiting and not be preparing. Some of y'all praying for a new level, but you ain't doing nothing to get ready for it. You asking for a breakthrough, but you still stuck in old habits. You saying you want a blessing, but are you even in position to receive it? You can't ask for a harvest if you ain't planted no seeds. Look, I done seen people ask for more, but they ain't taking care of what they already got. You want a bigger house, but the apartment you in now stay messy. You want a better job, but you show up late to the one you got. You want a relationship, but you still entertaining the same toxic folks you should let go a long time ago. You got to prepare for what you're praying for. See, when you're in a waiting season, it's easy to get discouraged, easy to feel like life is passing you by. But let me tell you something. Every delay has a purpose. Sometimes God is holding things back because he knows you ain't ready. See, you think you're ready, but God sees what you can't see. You asking for a blessing, but that blessing might crush you if you ain't built for it yet. You asking for more, but more comes with more responsibility, more pressure, more challenges. You got to be strong enough to handle what you asking for. Think about this. If somebody gave you $1 million right now, would you know what to do with it? Or would you blow it because you never learned how to manage what you already had? If the right opportunity showed up today, would you be ready? Or would you still be doubting yourself, still making excuses, still waiting for everything to be perfect before you take action? See, God don't bless you based on what you want. He blesses you based on what you're ready for. So instead of complaining about the wait, start using this time to get ready. You waiting on a new job? Take some classes, learn some new skills, update your resume. You waiting on love? Work on loving yourself first. You waiting on a business to take off? Start studying the industry, start making connections, start improving your mindset. Because when the opportunity comes, you don't want to be scrambling to catch up. You want to be ready. And let me tell you something, preparation shows faith. When you start preparing like you know it's coming, like you believe your next level is already on the way, that's when you show God you're serious. That's when things start shifting. That's when doors start opening. But you got to act like it's already happening before it happens. I know some of y'all tired. I know waiting ain't easy, but if you rush the process, you're going to miss something important. Everything you're going through right now is teaching you something. It's strengthening you, building you, molding you into the person you need to be for what's coming next. You might not see it now, but one day you're going to look back and realize every delay, every setback, every quiet season was setting you up for something bigger. So don't waste this time complaining. Don't waste it doubting. Use it to grow. Use it to prepare. Because when your moment comes, when your door opens, when your name gets called, you don't want to hesitate. You don't want to be scrambling, wishing you had done more. You want to be able to walk into that blessing fully ready, fully equipped, and fully confident. Listen, I need you to understand something. You can't receive bigger blessings with small habits. A lot of y'all praying for more. You asking for a bigger life, more success, more money, more opportunities. But the question is, can you handle more? See, everybody wants the reward, but not everybody wants the responsibility that comes with it. You can't expect God to give you a full plate if you're still struggling with what's already on your table. Let me break it down. If you want more, you got to act like you're ready for more. Some of y'all out here asking for a promotion, but you barely putting in effort at the job you got now. You showing up late, doing the bare minimum, waiting on somebody to notice you. Let me tell you something. Nobody hands success to people who ain't putting in the work. You asking for your own business, but you ain't disciplined with your time. You scrolling on your phone for hours, wasting days, but talking about, I want to be my own boss. How you going to run a business when you can't even manage your mornings? See, your habits create your future. If you got small habits, you're going to stay at a small level. But when you start moving different, when you start disciplining yourself, when you start showing up like you already at that next level, that's when doors start opening. And let's talk about money, because I know some of y'all been saying, if I just had more money, everything would be better. No, it wouldn't, because if you don't know how to manage a little, you won't know how to manage a lot. Some of y'all waiting on a financial blessing, but every time you get a little extra, you blow it on stuff that don't even matter. You buying things you don't need, impressing people who don't care, and then wondering why you always broke. See, money don't change your habits, it just makes them bigger. If you're bad with $100, you're gonna be bad with $100,000. Same thing with relationships. You asking for a good man, a good woman, but have you worked on yourself? Have you healed from your past? Have you fixed the parts of you that still need growth? Because let me tell you something. God ain't going to send you a healthy relationship if you still hold on to unhealthy habits. You got to be what you asking for. You want somebody loyal, be loyal. You want somebody with vision, get yourself a vision. You want somebody who communicates, learn how to express yourself. You attract what you are, not just what you want. And listen, I get it. Change is hard, discipline ain't easy, but you gotta ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Because success don't come to people who wish for it. The best version of you is not gonna show up out of nowhere. You gotta build it, day by day, decision by decision. So I need you to start moving like you already blessed. Start managing your money like you already making six figures. Start treating your job like it's your business. Start showing up for yourself like you know your future is worth it. Because when God sees you ready, that's when he'll take you to the next level. It starts with you. It starts with your habits. You got to prove that you can handle more before you receive more. So make the changes now. Do the work now, because when your time comes, you don't want to be the reason you miss it. Let me ask you something. How you going to ask for more when you ain't taking care of what you already got? See, a lot of folks out here praying for bigger, better, greater, but they ain't even managing what's in front of them right now. You want God to bless you with more, but why would he do that if you ain't proven you can handle what he already gave you? You out here saying, Lord, give me a bigger house, but the apartment you in now stay messy. You got dishes piled up, laundry sitting there for days, and you think you ready for more space? No, you not, because if you can't take care of little, you can't be trusted with much. That's just facts. You asking for a better job, a higher position, but you showing up late to the one you got. You giving half effort, scrolling on your phone at work, complaining about every little thing, and then you got the nerve to say, I deserve more. No, you deserve what you working for. See, God ain't gonna bless you with a promotion if you ain't acting like you ready for it. You gotta show up with excellence where you at first. And I know some of y'all saying, but this ain't my dream job, this ain't what I really wanna do. I hear you. But let me tell you something. How you handle this season determines what comes next. If you can't be faithful in a small role, you won't be trusted with a big one. You can't be waiting for the perfect opportunity to start showing up like the person you want to be. You got to walk in that energy now. And let's talk about money, because I know a lot of folks praying for more money. If I just had more, everything would be different. No, it wouldn't, because if you bad with a little, you're going to be bad with a lot. You get a little extra money, and instead of saving, investing, or handling responsibilities, You blowing it on things you don't even need. Then when you broke again, you mad at the world. No, be mad at your habits. Money don't change your mindset, it just exposes it. If you don't know how to manage a small paycheck, you're going to do the same thing with a big one. That's why folks win the lottery and end up broke again in a few years. It ain't about what you get, it's about what you do with it. Same thing with relationships. You out here praying for a good man, a good woman, but you still entertaining the wrong one. Still dealing with people you know ain't right for you. Still carrying old baggage. Still afraid of commitment. Still holding on to toxic habits. And then you asking God, where's my blessing? Baby, he ain't gonna send a good thing into a mess. You gotta make room for what you asking for. You got to be prepared for what you're praying for. See, we want God to open doors, but we don't want to do the work. We want the reward without the responsibility. We want success without sacrifice. But it don't work like that. You got to prove you ready. You got to manage what you got first. Because if you can't handle small, you can't handle big. If you can't be trusted with little, you can't be trusted with more. So I need you to stop asking for next level blessings if you still operating at a low level. Start treating what you got right now like it's already big. Start handling your money like you got wealth. Start managing your time like you value it. Start taking care of your space like you appreciate it. Because when you move like you ready, that's when more starts coming. God don't bless wastefulness. He don't reward laziness. But when you start handling what you got like it matters, when you start showing up with gratitude, discipline, and responsibility, that's when doors open. That's when your name gets called. That's when the next level shows up. Let me tell you something, faith and action go hand in hand. You can't just sit around talking about what you believe, praying for things to change and then do nothing. That ain't how this works. See, a lot of folks out here saying, I got faith that my situation will get better. Okay, but what you doing about it? Because faith without action is just wishing. You can't ask for a new job and then sleep all day. You can't say you want a better life, but then keep doing the same things that got you where you are now. Some of y'all praying for a breakthrough, but you still sitting in the same spot, waiting for something to magically happen. That ain't faith. That's laziness. Because when you really got faith, you move like it's already done. See, if you truly believe something is coming, you prepare for it. If I told you right now that you were about to move into your dream house next week, what would you do? You'd start packing, right? You'd start getting things in order. You'd be excited. You'd be making plans. Why? Because you believe it's happening. Well, that's exactly how you need to move in life. If you believe your breakthrough is coming, act like it. You want a new job? Start applying. Start learning new skills. Start showing up early at the one you got now. You want financial freedom? Start managing the little money you got. Start budgeting. Start saving. Start acting like you already got wealth. You want a better relationship? Start working on yourself. Start becoming the type of person you're praying for. Whatever you're asking for, you need to start moving like it's already on the way. See, some of y'all waiting on a sign before you take action, waiting for the perfect time. But let me tell you something, the perfect time don't exist. If you're waiting for everything to be just right, you're going to be waiting forever. You keep saying, I'm going to start next week. No, you won't. You've been saying that for months. You've been talking about your dreams, talking about your goals, but when you gonna stop talking and start moving? Faith requires movement. It requires effort. You can't just pray for the opportunity. You gotta prepare for it. See, God don't bless people who just wish for it. He blesses people who work for it. If you start acting like your blessing is already on the way, if you start showing up every day like you expecting something great to happen, that's when things start shifting. Let me give you a real example. Imagine a farmer planting seeds. Now, he don't see the harvest right away, and he don't wake up the next morning and see a full field of crops. But you know what he does? He keeps watering those seeds. He keeps showing up, taking care of them, believing that one day they gonna grow. That's what faith looks like. You might not see it today. You might not see it next week, but if you keep working, if you keep believing, if you keep preparing, your harvest is coming. But too many of y'all out here planting seeds and then walking away because you don't see results fast enough. You start something, you get excited, but then you quit because it's taking too long. Success don't happen overnight. Growth takes time. Just because you don't see it happening yet don't mean it ain't working. And listen, I know waiting is hard. I know putting in effort day after day without immediate results is frustrating. But let me tell you something. If you quit, you'll never know how close you were. Some of y'all are one step away from your breakthrough, but you giving up too soon. You doubting yourself, you letting fear talk you out of your blessing, you letting comfort keep you from your calling. But you gotta push through. Stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop making excuses. If you really got faith, move like it, prepare like it, show up like you know your best days are ahead. Because when you act like it's already done, that's when the doors open. That's when the opportunities come. That's when the best version of you shows up. Listen, you can't let fear stop you from stepping into what's next. Too many of y'all sitting on dreams, sitting on ideas, sitting on opportunities because you're scared. Scared of failing, scared of what people gonna say, scared that you ain't good enough. And let me tell you something, that fear is lying to you. Fear will have you believing that you're not ready when you are. Fear will have you thinking that you're going to fail before you even try. Fear will have you stuck in the same place year after year, watching other people move forward while you're still waiting for the right time. But let me tell you the truth. There ain't no right time. The time is now. Some of y'all been waiting too long. You've been saying, I'm going to do it next year. Then next year comes and you're still making the same excuses. You got a vision, but you're scared to start. You got a calling, but you're scared to step into it. But God didn't give you that dream for no reason. If it's in you, that means it's for you. See, fear is a trick of the enemy. Fear keeps you playing small. Fear keeps you doubting yourself. Fear keeps you second-guessing every move. But let me ask you something. What if you do make it? What if everything you're praying for is on the other side of that fear? What if the only thing standing between you and your breakthrough is the courage to take that first step? You keep saying, but what if I fail? Okay, but what if you succeed? What if this is the thing that changes your life? What if this is the moment that shifts everything? You can't let the fear of failing be stronger than your faith in succeeding. Because let me tell you, failure is part of the process. Ain't nobody great that didn't fail first. Ain't nobody successful that didn't make mistakes along the way. But you know what separates the successful from the stuck? They kept going. Think about a baby learning to walk. They fall 100 times, but do they ever stop trying? No. They keep getting up, they keep moving, they keep pushing till one day they walking like they've been doing it their whole life. That's how life works. You're going to stumble. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have moments where you question yourself, but you got to keep going. You got to push past fear. And I know what some of y'all thinking, but I don't feel ready. Let me tell you something. Nobody ever feels ready. If you waiting to feel 100% ready, you're going to be waiting forever. The most successful people in the world didn't start because they had it all figured out. They started scared. They started unsure. They started with doubts, but they started anyway. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to have it all mapped out. You just need to take the first step. Because here's what happens. Once you start moving, things start making sense. Once you step out in faith, doors start opening. Once you decide that fear ain't gonna control you no more, that's when you start stepping into your purpose. And let me say this, stop worrying about what people gonna say. Some of y'all too concerned with other people's opinions. You holding back because you scared of being judged, scared of looking foolish, scared of failing in front of an audience. Let me tell you something, people gonna talk whether you winning or losing. So you might as well do what you've been called to do. The truth is, the people who doubt you now, they gonna be the same ones asking how you did it later. The ones laughing at your dreams, they gonna be the same ones clapping for you when it works. So stop letting fear of people's opinions stop you from walking in your purpose. You gotta decide that your future is more important than your fear. That where you're going is greater than what you're scared of. That you'd rather try and fail than sit back and wonder, what if? Because let me tell you, the pain of failing ain't nothing compared to the pain of regret. So this is your moment, this is your sign, this is your time to stop letting fear run your life. Step out, take the risk, move in faith. Because on the other side of that fear, that's where your next level is waiting. Listen, your circle will determine how far you go. You can have all the talent in the world, all the ambition, all the vision, but if you're surrounded by the wrong people, you ain't never gonna reach your full potential. Some of y'all got dreams too big to be hanging around small-minded people. You got goals that require focus, discipline, and a winning mindset, but you spending all your time around folks who ain't got none of that. You telling them your vision and they laughing at you. You sharing your plans and they telling you why it won't work. Let me tell you something. If the people around you don't believe in you, you in the wrong crowd. See, energy is contagious. If you're around people who complain all day, you're gonna start complaining. If you're around people who make excuses, you're gonna start making excuses. If you're around folks who ain't growing, guess what? You ain't growing either. Because when you spend too much time in the wrong environment, it starts shaping you, whether you realize it or not. And I know some of y'all holding on to certain friendships, certain relationships, because you've been knowing them for years. But let me tell you, longevity don't equal loyalty. Just because you've been friends a long time don't mean they're supposed to go with you to the next level. Some folks were only meant for a season, but you trying to drag them into your future and they holding you back. Think about a hot air balloon. That balloon got the power to rise, to go higher, to soar. But before it can take off, what's the first thing they got to do? Drop the sandbags. Because as long as those weights are holding it down, it can't go nowhere. And some of y'all got people in your life who are sandbags. They weighing you down. They keeping you from rising. They keeping you at a level you done outgrown. And let me be real, it ain't always easy to let go. Sometimes it's family, sometimes it's childhood friends, sometimes it's people you love, but you gotta ask yourself, do I wanna stay comfortable or do I wanna grow? Because growth requires separation. Success requires sacrifice. You can't take everybody with you. Look at your circle right now. Do they push you to be better, or do they keep you stuck? Do they encourage you, or do they doubt you? Do they inspire you, or do they drain you? Because the people you surround yourself with will either stretch you or suffocate you. And listen, this don't mean you got to cut people off in a harsh way. Sometimes you just got to distance yourself. Sometimes you just got to shift your focus. Sometimes you just got to spend more time with people who match your ambition, who challenge you to grow, who see your potential and push you toward it. If you the smartest person in your circle, you in the wrong circle. If you the most motivated one in your group, you need a new group. You need to be around people who make you level up, people who hold you accountable, people who inspire you to think bigger, work harder, and keep going when you feel like giving up. Because let me tell you something, the right people will change your life. The right conversations will spark new ideas. The right environment will push you to places you ain't never been before. You need to be around folks who already where you trying to go. People who can mentor you, teach you, guide you. Because if you're trying to be successful, but everybody around you is comfortable being average, you fighting an uphill battle. And I know some of y'all thinking, but what if I end up alone? Listen, it's better to walk alone in the right direction than be surrounded by the wrong people going nowhere. Sometimes God will isolate you before he elevates you. Sometimes you got to go through a season of being alone so he can bring the right people into your life. So don't be afraid to outgrow people. Don't be afraid to set boundaries. Don't be afraid to choose your future over your feelings. Because at the end of the day, your success depends on your surroundings. Find your circle, find your tribe, find the people who speak life into you, who push you, who hold you accountable, who celebrate your wins and help you learn from your losses. Because when you surround yourself with the right people, that's when you start stepping into everything God has for you. Listen, everything I told you comes down to one thing. Your best is still ahead of you. No matter where you are right now, no matter what you've been through, no matter how hard it's been, you are not done. There is more in you. There is more for you. You just got to believe it. You got to move like it. You got to prepare for it. Faith without action is nothing. Fear cannot control you. Doubt cannot stop you. The people around you should push you higher, not hold you back. And most of all, you got to keep going even when it's hard, even when it takes time, even when you feel like giving up. Because on the other side of your struggle, on the other side of your fear, on the other side of your hard work, that's where your breakthrough is. That's where your next level is waiting. So step forward, walk in faith, stay focused, stay hungry, keep pushing, keep growing, keep believing, because the best is next. Good luck on your journey. Keep striving, keep grinding, and don't ever stop chasing what's meant for you. Thank you and God bless.